All right, guys. So yeah, back. Sorry for the quick little pause. I had to go for a run, So we're gonna go back to the rotary engine. What Keegan, was talking about.
Okay, so I think what I was saying is there's two spark plugs on that one side on that right side of space. I think you can kind of see it. I can't really tell. Um, but that huge space on the right hand side, that is where your compression and your combustion or power stroke actually starts, and then it pushes that uh, rotary or Dorito in a circle, and then exhaust and all that would be let out by the valves and all that.
So is it that little hole on like the top right?
Um,
Like that there's like a hole on the top right and there's one on the top left. I can't tell if
it
those are like kind of like.
it might be. I really don't know. I'm not even gonna lie, I really don't know.
Yeah. So guys, if you want us to make a full in-depth video of a rotary, we could. All right. I think we should move on real quick
Yes.
and how it all works. See,
Hayden, I'm gonna let you explain this.
alright, yeah. So the picture Keegan chose works really well. It's color coded. So right here, you have your piston. And as we were talking, so now since we've been talking so much, you should know all of what this is. This is your spark plug with a little spark. Intake valve, exhaust valve. Basically, when this piston comes down right here, so this is the piston, this is the rod, that's the crank. When the crank turns, it's going to bring the piston down, which will let air, because remember, we talked about the overhead valve and all that, so you should know when stuff starts turning. This intake valve is going to come up, it's going to let your gas and air mixture come in, it's going to open, and then when the piston starts coming up, this will close, the spark will ignite, and then the exhaust valve is going to open with the byproducts. And don't think it sparks then opens. There's a little bit of an overlap, delay. That's all valve lash and valve timing. We can make another video about that and how, what timing you want your valves open and stuff. But that's like the simple, you let the air and gas in. When it comes up, it makes your boom. This launches down, which initial turns the crank to turn the motor, lets out the byproducts, and it basically just does that really fast. Keegan, you got anything to add on to that?
Um, so if you're noticing these green kind of passageways, that is actually water for cooling, believe it or not. And here we're actually looking at an overhead cam engine, since there's no lifters or rocker arms. This picture is just perfect in my opinion, and it really does just show you basically everything. Not everything,
It's,
but
it,
it's
it lets you know the basics.
yeah, just the basics. That's basically what this whole podcast is about.
Yeah, so yeah, I totally agree with Keegan. It does it well, the cooling. And we'll get to later when you have compression, it causes heat, and without cooling, your engine can start pinging. But that's, all for a later topic. Like I said, guys, we will start making stuff. Comment, like, the more support, we get, the more we upload, the more, interesting this gets. This may not be the most interesting video, but that's just because it's the first one. We will improve this. But yeah, that's how it works, basically. You want to just move on, or you got anything else, Keegan, to say?
I think that's good. We're
All
only
right.
doing the basics, so I don't think we should go any further with that.
All right, so then we'll move on to what ignites the fuel, or whatever you call it in your country. The spark plug, or you can have a glow plug or slash compression. I will explain the spark plug. Keegan will explain the glow plug. Glow plug. Yes, it is not a nipple. I swear. Okay, so spark plug, basically, we all see them. Basically, you get electricity, makes a spark, ignites the gas. Basically, all it does. That's how it ignites it. Sometimes you can get different types of spark plugs. You get closer, ignite it quicker. That's like for the fine tuning. But like I said, this is just the basics. So, Keaton, you got anything to add on to that, or you want to go right to the glow plug?
I honestly think that's pretty much it for a spark plug. I mean, there's not really much to them. Yeah, sure. There's like different parts, such
Yeah.
as to it, like the central electrode, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just all electric stuff.
Yep, and that's all, if you guys want an in-depth video of a spark plug. But we
I'm
can,
sure we'll do one.
yeah, but we can now move on. Keegan will explain the glow plug / compression.
So glow plugs, it's a little complicated. So, and there's no, we're talking about diesel engines here. I had to put it in because some people may get mixed up between diesel and regular combustion, and that's totally understandable. So in diesel engines, there is no spark plug. And the reason I put glow plug / compression is because they both work together to ignite the fuel. So the glow plug is what heats up the fuel, like it gets it really hot, right? And then the compression finishes it off and actually makes it combust because it's so much heat and pressure. It ignites that fuel, pushes the push. Oh my god, pushes the piston down, which rotates the crank.
That's
Um,
pretty good. Pretty good
yeah,
explanation right there.
that's all it really is. Yeah,
So yeah, I think that is it. Oh no, okay.
we have more.
Yeah,
This is it though. This is it.
so last slide, it's the old question: turbo versus supercharger. We're not going to tell you which one's better. Leave your opinions to yourself for now.
They both have pros and cons.
Yes,
What do you want to explain?
I could explain the turbo. But basically, guys, we're just telling you these are the last you guys want to hear a little about. If you guys want an in-depth video of how they each work, we could tell you that. This is basically the basics. Turbo. Literally, the goal is to get colder air faster in your engine. And it gets air faster engine, but people forget about the colder air. Because basically with a turbo, the exhaust valve helps get in the fan spinning. It sucks in more air. And when it sucks in the air, it goes through the little, you can call it snail. And then it goes through this radiator. And it traps all the hot air. So all the cold air comes out. So you get all this fast cold air. And as we all know, cold air is denser. So you fit more in the cylinder, which means more gas can go in and make a bigger boom. Anything to add on?
No, I think you explained that absolutely perfectly. I mean, yeah,
All right.
no, that's exactly what I would have said.
Now Keegan's gonna explain the supercharger. The
Um,
whiners.
yes, the whiners. So superchargers. Um, this is a little bit different. One thing I do want to point out about the turbos is it is not instant. Superchargers are absolutely instant. Now,
Yes.
these both are forced induction products, getting colder air into your cylinder. Um, Basically, that little pulley at the beginning there that a belt connects to, which is driven by your crank, in this huge box right here, the supercharger, there's two screws. It works very similar to a turbo. There's a hot side and a cold side. Same thing with the two screws. There's a hot side screw and a cold side screw. What it's doing is it's basically making it just colder by either compressing it just a little bit and then obviously adding it into your engine, which it helps a lot. Um,
Yes.
like and it really just it's just forced induction. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Turbos, there's turbo lag,
Yep.
and there's different
Also
factors
known
that
as
go.
some people call it boost lag.
Yep.
Basically because the simple fact is you see the supercharger has a pulley like a blower automatically turns over. See the supercharger has a belt so it's already connected. The turbo has to spool up. But yeah, that's basically what they are. Um.
And that is it for this presentation.
Yeah. So, guys, that's it. So, tell us what you guys want next, and, we'll see you next on the cast. So, yeah, please drop a like, subscribe, do everything, share this to your grandma, your dad, your friendly mechanic. Any tips you guys like if anything you guys know that we didn't explain that you feel like we could have put in the video, throw it in the comments. Type in the comments what you guys want us to do next, or we're just gonna pick a stuff randomly. More support you guys show will also help us put more effort in the video, knowing that you guys want it. If you guys let's say we basically just went over the skim. We just skimmed the surface. We can make individual videos literally about how a turbo works or how to tune stuff. What is tuning? why is the turbo good? How can I get power out of that? We can all explain that, and so can Keegan. So yeah, that's basically it, guys. Yeah.
See you
So
next time.
see you next time on the cast.